Good morning. I'm resting down here because I've just got the camera angle right, so that you can actually see me working. I hope this is better than the last one, but please give me your feedback. I'm going to try and zoom in a moment, so bear with me. You'll just be seeing my hands and movement, but let's hope we get a good tutorial. Right, let's follow back there, and I think, please let me know if that's workable for you. So this is what we're working with today. This is the diamond pendant. Now you can use check super duos, but I'm using check twin beads in this one. Now for those of you that aren't familiar with them, they're basically beads that have got 2 holes in them. Absolutely wonderful to work with, and you can make some stunning pieces with them. The only difference is the super duos is a different shape to the twin beads, but the principle is the same. So this is one I've made, which has got bronze twins and clear twins, and what we actually do is we start to work the middle part first, and then we work up and we work down. This is one that I wear quite a lot. This is matte metallic, I think it's blue iris, and silver beads, and again this is the part that we start at across the centre there. I have got a different one just to show you. This is a bracelet that uses the same principle of the one where we just go down the centre. I've also just launched a kit on this heart pendant, and the principles of which from there downwards are the same, but the tutorial will obviously take you through the top part of that in the pack, and the same for the hortensia bauble as well. That's the heart on there. So this is what you're needing today. Let's bring that a little bit closer. Is these red twin beads and the gold size 11. The ones I'm using are the Perma Finish by Toho, size 11, which basically means that the tarnish of the gold shouldn't come off. Now you need about 1.5 meters of thread and 2 needles. Now to begin with, what we do is we pop 2 needles through 1 twin, and then you pop a twin bead either side. Close to you. So we work that until we have 10 centre beads. So I'm going to pop 1 twin bead on there, pop that down. So you've got both needles, and that's how it starts to sit. So we're going to repeat that. So basically you have 1 either side, 1 in the middle, 1 either side, 1 in the middle, until you have 10 twins going up the middle. So I'll do that whilst we're here. Trying to get a better angle. Easier said than done. Right, let's work with that. But if anybody's got any tips for me for getting closer up with the tutorial. It must be done, because when I watch some tutorials on YouTube, you can really get up close. But hopefully you can see me working. Right, so far I've got 6 up the middle. I think the most difficult part that people find with this is actually when you need to reposition your needle to start each row, and it's really finding a thread path, and once you've mastered that, it really is plain sailing. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just bear in mind as well, you don't have to make it as wide as this. The one that I made, that I'll show you later as the mock-up, I've made smaller. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one. So if you can't see it where you are, because I'm conscious I keep moving it, right. There you go. So we've got those running at the bottom. Now, if you're making this yourself, which obviously you will be, and you want to do 2 colours, what you could do is you could have a colour going up the centre and an alternative colour going at the sides. So see how they sit beautifully. So this is literally the middle part of the diamond. And what we will do now is we are going to tie together these 2 ends in a double knot. I find this easier because it just maintains the tension as you're going along. So bank one of the needles onto your mat. Now this is the part that most people find quite difficult. So where I'm aiming for is I actually want my needle to come out the top here, so that I'm going to work in between these. So I go in the left hand, if I can work it forward. Can you see that? I'm going down 1, 2, 3 twin beads in a line. Pull that, and then what I'm going to do, let's just straighten that up, is I'm going to go step in to the second hole of that twin bead. I just need to turn it round so that I can see what I'm doing. Second hole of that twin bead, and also through the twin bead above it. And this is our repositioning of the needle. Now we're going to step down into that one there, and then what we will be doing, let's just pull that tight. That puts us in the right position for working and popping a twin bead in between each of these. So when you get to there, you stop and we'll reposition the bead, because we're decreasing every single row. So effectively, we're decreasing so that until we get down to the point. So now we've got the needle repositioned, I'm going to pick up a twin bead and go through the next twin. Top tip is check your bead holes, because I think these go through mass production, and sadly sometimes the holes are covered, and there is nothing worse than finding you've done quite a lot of your piece and then all of a sudden you can't get through the second hole of one of them, so you've got to start it again. If you do find that you've come across one with a sealed hole, then do try getting a pin and just seeing if you can crack open the hole without smashing the bead. It can sometimes work. Okay. Right, can you see how we are decreasing our rows now? Okay, so the needle's coming out of there, and what we need to do is we want our needle positioned so that it's coming out of this hole here. So I'm going to step into the second hole of the bead I'm coming out of. And go across 1, 2, 3 beads in a row. Okay. Right, step in to the second hole where your thread is coming out of, and through the one above it. And now we're ready to step into that one. Okay, I'll see if I can do some of this as I'm holding it up. So add one, go through the next one. Add one, go through the next one. Add one, go through the next one. Okay, I'm going to pop it down a moment and just quickly finish off that. But do play around with these twin hole beads, because you can get lots of wonderful shapes from them. I will upload the twin beads that I've got onto my website, which is www.beadsbyverchiel, which is VERCHIEL. If you could also like our Facebook page, which is Beads by Verchiel, and we also have an auction site page as well. Right, so as you can see, that's working down now. So just to recap on repositioning the needle, so I'm going to step into the second hole of the one we've just come out of, go through 3 twin beads, 1, 2, 3. Up through 2, and the good thing is, hopefully, you know, if you need a recap on this, you can pause it. So we're going to step into that one, so the end one has got a stitch. You've always got to be really careful with these though, because you know you want the stitch at the end, but you need to make sure you follow a thread path. So we're going to add a twin and go through that. Now, what are we doing for time? So I'm going to crack on and do a little bit more of this, and then I'll show you how we start the other side as well, which really is just a replica of the other of this side that we're doing. And the thread I'm using today is called Nymo. I couldn't think of the word earlier. It's fine, and then when you click that camera on, everything just goes. Ridiculous really when I do this every day. But it's slightly different when you're sat here talking to yourself. If you can hear some children outside, for those of you that have watched my tutorials before, I'm opposite a children's play area. So if you are local to Swindon, we're at Wyvale Garden Centre, and there's lots to do here. There's a children's play area, there's butterfly gardens, they can do chocolate making, and we will be doing children's workshops as well during half terms here as well. Right, I'm working my way down. Right, so that's where we're at the moment. I'm just going to work down to the point. I'm hoping that when you play this back on the tutorial, I'm hoping that you can actually get closer and zoom in a little bit so that you can see. I know when I'm watching tutorials, I do like to put it on pause and be able to see, but it's all trial and error. You know, the live YouTube, the live Facebook tutorials are quite new to me, and I'm sure there's some little gizmo that I can buy that gets it at the right angle for you to see. I'll have to ask my daughter. She's the one in the know with all of these technological things. Right, so I've nearly, there we go, nearly reached the peak of the diamond. Right, so let me just show you. 1, 2, 3. If you just remember, go through 3, but it's making sure you go through the right one. 1, 2. Step up. I'll just show you how to tie off as well. So there you go. Okay, so for tying off, it's probably a really good idea as well is to work back up and down to reinforce the heart if you've got enough thread left. Because it just pulls it in nicely. Right, so in terms of tying off, because I haven't got a lot of thread left here, I'd suggest you tie off in 2 to 3 different places. And what I do is I push in to the thread there, but before I pull it, is just make a knot and pull. And you want to do that in 2 to 3 places, following the thread path. So I'm going to bank that for now. So you've done 1/2 of the diamond shape. Now I'm going to press on with the next bit so that I can show you how to make the bail. So we've done 1/2. Now again, we need our thread or our needle to come out of here. So I'm going to go through that one there, 1, 2, 3. Let's push it to the front so that you can see, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Push through 2. And step into that one. And then we're going to add twins in between. So I'll work these quickly. But share any of your successes. I'd love to see anything that you've made following watching the tutorials that I've done. If it's given you inspiration, I'd love to hear from you. And we give each other inspiration. It might just be that you're trying to do a different shape, and something else crops up. Happy accident. Right. Once you've done a few of these, they don't take too long. Now the size 11 galvanised seed beads, these are just for making the bail. Now you want a bail so that you can place your cord through and cord through easily. We're going to be using gold chain for this one, like the one that's attached to the heart that I showed you earlier. And again with the bails, oops, gone too far. And again with the bails, you might find an easier way of doing them. And if you do, please share them. See, there's one that's just slightly sealed the hole. I keep checking to see if you can actually see what I'm doing. But obviously you might want to fast forward it a little bit. I will upload these onto YouTube if they seem okay. Right, so I'm stepping into 3 beads, then through 2. Right, so it is progressing nicely, not too much left to do. These make beautiful, beautiful gifts for people. And the nice thing with these as well is you could just pop them into an organza bag without worrying that it's going to get crinkled or creased, because they are like fabric. They will just come out as you've made them. You won't get any creases from them. Right, so we're down to 4 twin beads. Okay, so just to recap, 1, 2, 3. Right, 1, 2, 3, I've gone too far. 1, 2. Okay, right. So I'm just popping my last one in. Okay, there you go. That is the diamond. So that hasn't really taken me too long. Obviously I don't expect you to do it quite as quickly, but what I want to do now is to actually show you how to make the bail. Now the bail has got seed beads either side and a twin bead in the middle. And the idea is that where those seed beads are, your thread goes in between. So I want to actually reposition the needle. So I'm going to go through 3 twins. Whoops. Through 2, and then I'm going to step up into the top hole, like so. And I'm going to add 5 seeds. One twin and 5 seeds. Like that. And then I'm going to go the other side of that top bead, so you're forming a circle. Now you would reinforce and go all the way back around those again. Now I'm running out of thread because I didn't cut quite 1.5 meters, but I can equally show you the next bit. So we're going to work around the back, so I'm going to add another 5 seeds, add 5 seed beads, and then we're going to go through the second hole of that twin bead that's already added. Right, and then we're going to add another 5 seed beads. And then go back, so add 5 seeds and then go back through the top of that twin bead. So they sit, one sits in front of the other. Let's bring it back because it's slightly out of focus there. Now obviously that would be more rigid because you would reinforce that. But these bits, the idea is that your thread will go in between that there. So let's just hold that up. Okay, so you'd reinforce, you'd tie off. You could see how you'd need to reinforce going back down there because I've got a few gaps from tension. I just want to show you this one. Now I would pop a gold chain on that one and pop your findings on there. And I always think it's a really nice touch just to add a little crystal on the end there. So I'll just show you the twin beads that I have in stock at the moment. These are purple super duos. They are £2.15 for 10 grams. Purple suede. Now you would only need 1 tube for this project. These are check twin opaque mauve. Those are £1.15 for 10 grams. Opaque royal blue, again £1.15. Silver, £1.15. Those are the twin beads. Love this colour. Aqua crystal, so there's a see-through sort of element. Green turquoise. Crystal This is a crystal copper colour. Crystal gold rainbow. Those are super duos. Those are £2.15. And these are like they're called Soljan dyed grey, but they're actually like a smoky quartz. And if you want in a really funky colour, this is a neon pink. Those are twin beads and they're £1.50. The red crystals on the end of the necklace are for a pack £1.25. And the gold chain, that's the gold chain, which I think is beautiful, and that's £2 a metre. So I'm just going to lift up. I hope you enjoyed that. I'll have a watch back because I'm not quite sure how well you can see everything on it. But if it's not, you know, if it needs to, I'll redo it and I'll try and reposition the camera. But I hope that helps, and have a great day. Thanks now. Bye.